And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the A main sprint. It's that same setup as last time. 8 laps on the board. And 11 drivers here. So pole position going to Kyle Luang, and it is Jacob Burns, Brandon Pavel. That is your championship leader who qualified in third, Michael Callahan. Mentioned that he might be a factor if the stars align, but right now he is fourth overall. We do have the drivers lining up. These standing starts. I love these. Standing starts in go-karts is always exciting. Damien Hernandez in fifth, and it's Brody Wakefield, Enzo Catone, Brady Prazeres, Ben Braley lining up in ninth, Jacob Etris in 10th. Bob Wheeler is going to round up the grid. Many of these drivers I just listed, of course, are in the fight. That top 6 of Brandon, Jacob, Damon, Ben, Kyle, and Jacob Etris. All of them qualifying pretty well. It's only Ben Braley right now that kind of got the short end of the stick, but we are underway here for this B main sprint as these drivers go down and around that banked corner. You can see them lining up double file, and they are going to be climbing up just in front of us. But that should be Kyle in the lead. We are seeing a couple of moves around the outside, some defensiveness on the inside, but it has been a pretty clean getaway for everybody. Ben Braley going for an overtake. He's trying to get something done here early on in the race. Remember, it's only those 8 laps that drivers have to work with. After that, it is going to be white checkered, and then you are back in the pit. Time to beat right now to avoid being relegated to that B split if you are an A driver is 40.9. These first lap times coming in don't really mean a whole lot, as it is a 42.48 for that first lap. Drivers only going to be getting quicker. Jacob still running up in the lead, although Jacob Burns does have something to say about that. Ben Braley, I believe, also got another position there, so he should be moving up the grid slowly but surely. He's actually about mid-pack right now, so Ben's made up some big positions for himself. He is 22 points off of that first place finish, though, so he's going to have to get the let out and hope, of course, Pavel gets it the worst. We come back around to a very close fight up for that P1. They are going to be going around that bank turn. Here they come. Jacob Burns, though, taking the lead, albeit barely. He was reeling in first place, Kyle, but now things have swapped. It looks like Kyle might actually be in danger of losing another position, going to third. Ben Braley also being a driver, bearing down on the man in front of him for 5th place, heading through the chicane section right now. This is where we start to see some spacing out. We do see Jacob Burns actually start pulling a gap right now over Kyle. We'll see what it looks like. So Kyle's gotten a little bit lucky there. That chicane section not going too well for his competitors behind. A little beating and banging on the walls here at R1. Up the hill in front of us once more. We're starting to get a little bit of a trade forming up behind Callahan right now. Of not just 1, 2 cars going by the man himself, and that's all it's going to be. There's still, I think, about 4 drivers behind him right now looking to get a piece of the action, but unfortunately not close enough for a move just yet. And you can see that train right there. Oh, it's going to look really tasty as they come through. 4 laps done and dusted. Make that 5. Best time right now is a 40.6. Remember, if the slowest driver is not able to do better than a 40.9, as we do see the 34 kart going wide there. That was Brody Wakefield. That was just in front of us. He did get overtaken by Bob Wheeler there. I don't know if he got a little bit of air time. These karts, not planted to the ground, of course. These things have about as much downforce as my Corolla. So a little bit of air time and not a lot of rubber contact on the ground there. They are going to go flying. A little bit of oversteer. But this has been fantastic. for the number 17 of Jacob Burns. He has sprinted away from the field. So everybody else settling in for the most part. I think we're kind of getting to the point of the race where there's not much left for drivers to really go for. I mean, there is that pack of 4 towards the tail end of the field. They're getting a little bit dicey. You can see it there on your display. They're just exiting camera right, and they should be reappearing. They've kept it clean. You can already see the gap that Burns has pulled out. It's ridiculous how much faster he is than these guys. Almost 0.4 of a second per lap. And that's at least a few seconds, if not more. Under attack. Oh, actually, Ben Braley gets ahead, so Ben's up into 4th. And now we seem to have everybody sort of divided. We've got one driver alone in P1. We've got one driver alone in P2. I believe 3 and 4 also starting to get a little bit cozy with each other. And we are going to have a yellow flag coming out here. I think that sounded like it came from the chicane. It's a spot that we don't have eyes on, unfortunately. It's going to be just out of sight, I believe. If you're looking at the camera feed that we're showing you, it would have been just to the right of that. We'll see if we can actually see anything over the balcony here. Looks like we're figuring it out. I'm just seeing drivers slowly come on through. Yeah, looks like there might have been some contact in the background or something, but we are back in racing. Not too much time left. That caution definitely would have killed some momentum for some drivers. Looks like we have had a pit change. I can't quite tell who that is from here. But the positives, for the most part, everybody else has gotten going. As far as I am concerned, positions have stayed the same. That caution may have added a lap. I'm not seeing the white flag. Oh, I am seeing the yellow checkered coming out. So it appears as though that caution came out at a time that was probably beneficial for some and, well, detrimental to others. So that will do it for the A main lineup. That is going to be a win for Jacob Burns. Unless that was Jacob that got spun. Hold on a second. Well, I saw it was the number 11 of Brady. Unless he got the position swap, but I'm not 100%. Again, we got a couple blind spots here. But the drivers, you can't hear it, but they are hooping and hollering. They have enjoyed themselves. So they should be coming back in. And that will be the end of the A main sprint. So they'll look at all those times, and they will figure out if anybody gets to have the unfortunate happenings of, well, being booted down into that B main. We will be going into the feature race here. That is going to be 12 laps. That's going to be a little bit more chaotic. Right now we have, it looks like we have a public race going on. So folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it is going to be the B feature race here at R1. Get up, get some water, but most importantly, keep your browsers locked because Slipstream will be right back.
huge mural. It's, you can see a cityscape. It will glow in the dark using black light. Cyberpunk style, very bright lights. There's the Superman building from Providence, and the Axe Bar logo will be on it. I will incorporate logos on some buildings. Air One flew me out from Indonesia all the way to Providence. So I've been working on this project already for 20 days, and yeah, I'm going to be working here for, I think, 5 days left. Should be done in 5 days. Yeah, it's the biggest glow in the dark and black light project.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at R1 Indoor Karting in Lincoln, Rhode Island. My name is Nicholas Simone. Hopefully you guys had a good break. I know we did. We just chit-chatted, got some water, just relaxed a little bit after the craziness that we faced. But we are here for the B-Main feature race. It is going to be 12 laps for these drivers to compete with based off of position. Now, I should have also mentioned the point split for tonight. So points start at 25, and they decrease by 1 per driver. Although fastest lap will get a bonus point. 1 little bonus point, nothing crazy. That's both splits. And then here with the feature race, it starts at 50. Goes down by 2, and you still get that bonus 1 for fastest lap. So a little bit more to play for here. I don't believe we had anybody get moved around. Not 100% on that one. But drivers are being told it is time to go for the parade lap. They are going to be just getting those tires warmed up side by side. They will soon become the lineup for these guys one more time on the starting grid. You can see them. We got the one camera working as they come up. That's the camera on your bottom left. That is basically in the booth. That is just attached to the railing for us. So good shot from there. But we'll be going through the chicane. This will probably be the calmest chicane that these guys are going to have here. Looks like Michael Callahan is going to be in that first position. Then it's Oliver Markarov, Anthony Lombardi, James Allard, Joey Etris, Brandon George, Matt Altman, Jesse Ramsberger, Clark Ranney, and then it is Michael Allard, rounding out number 10 on this grid. 12 laps to go. Everybody's getting lined up. We should be just about ready to go here. One final check from the crew, just making sure everybody's in their slot. Nobody's trying to get a little bit ahead. But we should be racing here very shortly. Everybody set up and ready, getting one last photo of the boys before they send them out. Tried to get in the shot. I was unsuccessful, but that's okay. It's the thought that counts. But folks, for the last time, B-Main will line up for their feature race. 12 laps on the board. Track crew, green flag is up. And it is waving. The drivers are away for the pole sitter. He's got all of himself to worry about, but we do have a little bit of side-by-side from the rest of the pack as they come up and around that bank turn. And up by us, it is going to be single file. A little bit of argy-bargy there as the number 11 cart of Jesse Ramsberger goes by Clark Ranaway. Down the hill, they'll plunge to the chicane. We'll see who gets these better corners. It just seems to keep coming at you no matter what. And we are starting to see that first place getaway, a little bit of a crisscross for a few of these drivers. They are just below us and coming out and around. So Callahan's going to hang on to that lead as we do get a lot of contact in those back 5. Doesn't look like anybody got spun there, thankfully. Oh, more pushing and shoving there. The number 8 cart. That was Matt Altman getting a little bit of action there just before entering shot. And they'll go back down and again up to the chicane. You're in first place. This is very good. You can see already the gap about, I'd say maybe a third of a second, maybe almost half a second right now at the start. And we'll see if that lead builds. Another lap down. The number 2 of James Allard leading the field, although he is starting to come under a little pressure and actually has been usurped from that P number 1. Believe that was Oliver Markarov, and it looks like it might have been. It could also have been Anthony Lombardi. I know he was up there. We do see the 81 of Michael Allard actually having some issues as he gets relegated down to P10. Not even halfway through this race, and already we've had some switching of positions. Oh, and we may have a very good battle for this front three, though. It could go any which way. The closing stages of this race, especially 28 defensive line there. Going into the set of upper level corners, we do have one of the, I believe that was James Allard getting pushed aside. Another position swap there. Feels like the future race is going to be a lot more chaotic. You'd expect that maybe more for the sprint races because they're so short. But I guess when you add a couple extra laps to the mix, people get a little bit more gutsy with it. But they will come up by us once again. The 28, the iMac part of Michael Callahan leads the way. Not by as much as he would probably like, but a lead is a lead, and he'll take it. He might be pulling, maybe, actually he might be losing maybe a couple hundredths of a second each lap right now, because the two carts behind have also found themselves gaining ground lap after lap, and we could be seeing a move coming up as we head through this bank turn. You can see the gap right now. As they come up, they're going to be passing us here. Markarov giving Callahan a little bit of a nudge, trying to unsettle him. Callahan holds it to the inside as they go down. Anthony Lombardi, as these two fight, also manages to close that gap up just a bit. And once again, the top three, they start off separate. Somebody gets in the lead. They pull away, but before long, they are back being with each other. We should be rounding the start-finish line once again. Barely anything between them. Oh, there is a bit of a wide move there. I didn't quite see who that was. More pushing and shoving. The 27 of Markarov. I think he got either pushed out of the way as they went up through that bank turn, or maybe he just got a little bit loose. And that invited Lombardi through. And despite that little misstep, Callahan not able to widen his advantage in that first position. So through the chicane once more. And it remains Callahan's race. Top four looking to add somebody to that fight. But how much of a fight does this become? As we do see Lombardi really starting to pile on the pressure to Callahan. And as well, it looks like Joey Etchers actually is starting to close up a bit to that leading pack, but we are just about halfway through this race. And if Etchers is going to get anything here, he's got to do it now. He's got to find a way through, maybe push somebody out of the way, but that might draw the ire of the stewards, and something's actually gone on. Because Callahan, look at the gap that he's got. What has gone on there with Lombardi? You wonder if something happened in the chicane. Brandon George also getting closer as well. So Etris and Markarov might be having an unexpected visitor being added to the party. We'll have to see if that can be converted into some position gains, or if Etris is doomed to be sat in P4. Callahan's lead looks like it's stabilized a bit. Oh, and actually, I believe that was Etris getting overtaken by Brandon George somewhere in the chicane. I wasn't sure where it happened. But he's now in P5 as George goes through to 6 or to 4. Ramsberger could also find himself with an extra position by the end of this, but just behind him is Matt Altman. We have just a couple of laps to the white flag for B main. What can they do? Can anybody find any extra pace, any extra positions? And it is Callahan once again under attack, as Lombardi's found a way to close things up. And we actually have almost a 5-way fight right now for position number 4. That goes from George to Etris, Ramsberger, Altman, and James Allard right now. Clark Ranny and Michael Allard all by themselves. Well, Michael Callahan. That white flag going to be flying here. And he's got nothing between himself and Lombardi. I think Lombardi gave him a little bit of a tap, though. Callahan turned in too early into turn 1. And look who is coming up behind. It is going to be Markarov as well for those first 3. We are seeing as well by us James Allard starting to pile on. A little bit of uncomfortable nature for Matt Altman actually forces him to make a mistake. Just look behind him for a split second, puts himself into the wall. He does not lose any positions, though. But I think Callahan might have just held on to this lead. And as we come through the chicane for the last time, it will be Callahan just making it to the flag ahead of Lombardi. Barely anything between them, less than a tenth of a second. Oliver Markarov a little behind that. But for Michael Callahan, what a display of defense that was. Somehow held off the charging pack and finds himself with a final first place for the season. It's going to be a bit of an in-lap. We had the last 2 make some more mistakes and get a little bit separated from everybody. But they will be coming through very, very shortly back into the pit lane. They do have that A main feature race set up. So we'll get that parade lap going for you guys here. Last race of the night, last race of the season for this R1 Winter Cup 2026. There is only 5 weeks in this, so we will see who can take it all home right now. As far as my stat sheet is concerned, it is Brandon Pavao in the lead. 293 points over Jacob Burns. That driver's got 273. Damon Hernandez, 272. Ben Braley, 271. So who could take home second, I think, is still very much up for debate. Had I the updated stats, I could tell you how close the standings are. But if you're Brandon, you're in a pretty good spot. 20 points right now, and the max you can get is 25. At least in that first race. The second race, though, you got 50 to play with. So could we see something happen at the end? We will have the trophy ceremony. So we'll get those final numbers. We'll show them off, and, well, we'll hand out some trophies, some goodies for everybody. And from there, well, that'll be another season in the books. We're getting some last-minute checks here for the drivers. Pit crew, just making sure everybody's good to go, making sure the track is all set. Getting some last minute, I can't tell if it's chit-chat or trash talk, but whatever it is, I'm here for it. I don't know if the pit crew's also riling them up. I would do that. I've done that before. It's quite fun. There's a little bit of drama, a little bit of theatrics, if you will, to the wonderful world of racing. As if we haven't had enough theatrics and drama in here on the technical side of things. But like all good shows, we keep it going. Not quite sure what we're waiting on. Again, it might still be that trash talk. Yeah, it looks like one of the R1 staff is explaining something to somebody. But the field will be led away. The final parade lap for A main. The final feature race. And we'll let you know. Jacob Burns on pole. Kyle Leung, second position. Damon Hernandez in third. Ben Braley's fourth, your championship leader. Brandon Pavao in that number 18. He's in fifth. He's got a little work to do himself. Enzo Catoni, he's in sixth. Then it's Brody Wakefield, Bob Wheeler, Brady Prazeres, and Jacob Etris. Your top 10. They're just starting to go through the chicane. Quick little feel for the cart. Wondered if there's anything extra they can get out of these things before we cut them loose one more time. And they will line back up on the grid. Last standing start for these guys. Looks like the R1 crew here also getting their own social media shots as we do the same. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this, and thank you guys for your patience. Again, we had some unexpected technical issues here. Thankfully, those were only in warm-up and qualifying, and I believe a little bit of that first race. But we fixed the ship, we patched the holes, we got the sails back up and going, and we're here to give you, well, the night of karting that we promised. We never said how we get it to you, but we did say we would get it, so you guys can't get upset with us for that. One final picture. You know, I've told people to smile when I take a picture of them in the helmets, and they say, we can't see your smiles. And it's like, well, you can use the eyes to tell you that person should be happy. But, folks, one more time. One more green flag must be waved. It's the A-Main drivers. They know what is at stake. They know there is a championship trophy at the end of it all. Up goes the green flag. And it waves. One dramatic flick of the wrist, and the field is let loose. Jacob Burns wants to tackle win on the board, and there's a lot of pushing and shoving as they go through that bank turn. Up the hill we go. There's more chaos as the entire pack sticks close. 1 and 2, a little bit of a dash away. Third's kind of in no man's land, but from 4th all the way down to 10th, it is utter chaos. And we shall see who comes out on top through the chicane. Oh, that might have been a lead change. I think Hernandez might have gotten a move there. We'll check and see what the timing line says as they come up and through that starting grid once more. And it looks like Jacob Burns may still be in the lead. At 38, yep, still running strong. Hernandez, Pavao is behind. Then the 33 of Brody Wakefield holding on to 4th. He seems to be holding off the entirety of R1 right now. It looks like, ooh, Ben Braley's actually had a pretty hectic start. Not the start he wants. I believe he's down in 7th at the moment. So he's just going backwards here. And like we stated before, there are 12 laps in this feature race. And checking over his shoulder is Burns. He knows where Hernandez is, and he's trying to get away from him. And if he can, at the very least, maybe bringing Pavao into the mix to try and slow him up a bit. If he can't pull away, block as much as you can. Play some defense. And we basically have 2 groups here. We have 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, all by themselves. So 2 worlds of racing happening here at R1. And you can see how close those first 3 are. It's basically right next to each other. A little bit of a bump draft, if you will, from Pavao on Hernandez. And another inside move looked at by Hernandez, but cannot get through. 4th place driver in that 37, that's Enzo Catoni. He's now the man in no man's land, as 3rd is caught up with the first 2. And then it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, all by themselves. Well, we've made it through the chicane as best we can. And Burns continues to hold off the charge from Hernandez and Pavao, albeit barely. Hernandez tried to move just up by us, but not enough to get through. And even at the back, we're having a little fight between the number 4 car of Brady Prazeres and Brody Wakefield. Wakefield finding himself in last position here. I wonder if Enzo's catching. He might be. Enzo's last lap was a 40.977. That was his best compared to the 41.6s that his opponents are putting in. Enzo could find himself fighting it out for P1. And another little love tap from Hernandez. Almost rallying Burns forward. Or maybe trying to dislodge him a little bit. In the mid-pack. 26 of Etris. 23 of Luong. And then the 9 of Braley all starting to form their own little group here. Enzo could very well, if he can keep this pace up, if not go a little bit faster, he could find himself in this first place battle, and it looks like he is. Around the bank corner, down we go. It is going to be Burns getting a little bit wide there. And another tap from Hernandez. Through goes Pavao, and it is going to be Cantoni also getting through on this one as well. Cantoni's up to third. Down Hernandez goes 2 spots in just a couple of corners. Hernandez got a push on the rear as they were coming up by us. That pushed him wide. A little bit of the transfer of momentum. Good old inertia. Dale Earnhardt would tell you a lot about that. There is some shouting coming from the drivers. I think that's more trash talk and gloating, if anything. But now Cantoni's in third, excuse me. It is still Burns leading this. And despite... Oh, we got some not so happy customers there. I think we're being told to give up some positions. Or perhaps this may be the drivers being bunched back up. I heard one of the track marshals, I believe, say behind Damon. I believe that was to Brandon Pavao. We'll see what that's all about. Drivers are slowly through the chicane. So it looks like from what I can hear, we may be doing a reordering of things. I don't know if we'll get a proper restart. Oh, we might be doing a restart. We are. Track marshal with that green flag. Drivers single file, and I think that may stay. Everybody's kind of bunching up just below us and to the left. Yeah, they're trying to figure out who's going where right now. Yeah, I can hear the track marshals communicating with each other, saying who's got to go where. Oh yeah, they're trying to do so. They're talking about the contact that we saw where Hernandez went from 2nd to 4th. Oh, a little bit of fire. We want to get racing. Everybody's trying to figure it out. As are we in the booth. It's the beauty of League. Get a little bit more chaos. At least controlled chaos. But we are back up and running here for the R1 Winter Cup. A main feature. Burns will hold on to that lead. Enzo has been brought up to 2nd. Hernandez goes back to 3rd, and Pavao is in 4th. We are not done yet, not by a long shot. Enzo's lap times, though, have been very, very solid. Oh, and we are seeing a push. I think that was Hernandez going for a move. On the 37, I can hear a little bit more hooping and hollering. Oh, and now the pack has really gotten out of sorts. Burns holding on to P1. The pushing and shoving. That was Hernandez. That did go for a move on the 37. It did not pan out. Lost himself a load of time. But they continue on. Another lap here. We are almost to the checkered flag, almost to the white flag here at R1 in Lincoln. Popping out the other side, though, through the chicane. It will still be Burns leading this. Ooh, Enzo did not get the best entry into that first corner. That did leave him vulnerable to Damon, but nothing the 30 or the 17 could have done. Check the lap times here. Enzo puts in a 41.3. Burns puts in a 41.6. Hernandez puts in a 41.0. By this logic, we could be seeing one of those front three taking the checkered flag first. If you're Jacob Burns, you just got a few more laps to go. Few more till the white. And it is going to be this lap. White flag is out and flying. It is still Burns in the lead. He might be safe. Cantoni under pressure from Hernandez. Etris as well, finding himself in P4. But Etris has a lot of drivers behind him. We've got 4 drivers. And I think he's out of power, actually. He put his hand up. He had his foot up. I don't think that kart's getting any power at all. Yeah, I think he's done. I think that's it for him. I think Etris is out of power. I think the kart is dead. I saw him. He had one hand in the air. He had the opposite-sided foot in the air as well. But I think that might do it for Jacob Burns. As he comes across, it will be Jacob Burns in first, and I think Cantoni just got to the line ahead of Hernandez. Did Ben Braley get a 4th over Pavao? I think he did. There is going to be some words, some conversations. Oh, and we've got some trading off. The 18 of Brandon Pavao. I think he may have been given the checkered flag as a token of his victory of the championship. Only speculative, of course, here. But if I had to bet on it, that is probably why. I think Brandon Pavao has led an excellent campaign. And I can hear him cheering from up here in the booth. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe it will be the number 18 who has secured himself the R1 2026 Winter Cup Championship. But, of course, we got to have that trophy ceremony to make sure that things have been properly finalized. So, folks, we're going to take a short break. We'll get set up and all that good stuff. For now, though, get up, stretch a little, get some water, get some food. Maybe go to the bathroom. I don't know. It's going to be a little bit before we are able to get back live to you. But, folks, most importantly, keep your browser locked right where it is because SlipstreamTV comes back in just a few.